is because that clock's always off.
Yeah.
Let's have a drink of water.
I know I got one back there. It helps.
Yeah. So
So I'm gonna do a chord. I'll do a chord first. No.
So if just another 10 people would show up, it'd feel good. You know? 10
Well, I guess we've got 10 online or so, but it's not the same.
not musicians.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Marcia. Nice. Yeah, closer to us. All right, there's 2. 8 more. 8 more.
Good morning. God morning. Welcome, I'm Reverend Penny Honey. You are at Unity of Flagstaff, and I'm glad you are. So let's stand as you are comfortable, please, as our amazing musicians, Steve Huffman and Mr. Matt Devlin, lead us in. We Are the One. This is an original written by the two of you, correct? Yeah, here we go. Feel it, folks. Here we go.
We are one with everything under the sun. We are one with everything under the sun.
Here we go.
We are one with the Spirit. We are one with the power. We are one with each other every day and every hour. We are one. We are one with everything under the sun. We are one with everything under the sun. We are one with with our family. We are one with our friends. One with our neighbors, with a love that never ends. We are one, we are one. With everything under the sun, we are one. With everything under the sun. With everything under the sun. We are one with the jays, with the elk and the deer, with the sun and the stars, and the sky so clear. We are one, we are one. With everything under the sun, we are one. With everything under the sun, we are one. With everything under the sun. We are one with the rain as it falls from the sky. We are one with the water we drink when we are dry. We are one. With everything under the sun. We are one. With everything under the sun. We are one. With everything under the sun. We are one. With everything under the sun, we are one. With everything under the sun, last time. With everything under the sun, we are one.
Good morning, Zoomers. Good morning, Tubers. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it. This morning, we are one, aren't we? Can you feel that? Anything you want to know, of course, about the ministry, go to www.unityofflagstaff.org. Check it out. We got lots going. Please plan on being here with us if you can, and if not, we'll be zooming and tubing, of course, on July 3rd. We're celebrating. We are celebrating, and we are grateful to have you with us today. Happy Sunday. All right, we're going to bring it back in. We have a problem being friendly. Did you notice that? All right, good morning. I'm telling you, we're going to have a Sunday that we're just going to say, okay, greet. And that's just what we're going to do. So welcome. July 3rd might look like that. We'll be talking about July 3rd here shortly. So welcome again. I am Reverend Penny Honey. It is my joy. It is my honor. And it just makes me really happy to be here. It truly is an honor. There are folks, as we say each week, all over the planet that are figuring out ways to express their divinity, that are looking for ways to say, I am the expression of spirit, and this is how I interpret that. And here at Unity of Flagstaff, we say, go for it. Does no harm and it brings peace, go for it. And thank you for choosing to be here today to be that. You've landed in the right place if that resonates with you. So I'm going to give you a little disclaimer. I may or may not have been exposed to someone with COVID, so I am going to keep a little distance. I'm going to miss all those hugs that I was getting used to having again. But I am going to take that responsible position. So when you see me put my mask on, that's why. We are still masking as per the CDC and science says. So that's where we're at. If you have a question about that and about anything in the ministry, you go to www.unityofflagstaff.org. And now it is my esteemed pleasure to introduce the board member of the day. And anything you ever needed to know, you can ask Sue today. And we are grateful to have her serving in this, in this leadership position. Truly. It's yeah, anything. As long as it doesn't include me in the conversation, I'm okay with it. There you go. And it is Celebration Sunday, my friends. Yay! Come on, it's Celebration Sunday. First Sunday of the month. What are you celebrating? What do you got? An anniversary, a birthday? I'm going to have somebody come up, and they will be glad to bring you a flower. In fact, board member of the day, that'll be your first duty. How about that? What are we celebrating? Birthdays, anniversaries, raise your hand. You don't have to tell us what it is, but we just want to celebrate it with you anyway, because we just like to celebrate, right? Yes, Bob wants, and we've got one over here, and I've got one over here. How about over here? I got even on this side of the room. How about this side of the room? No. All right. We are celebrating you, Bob. Thank you. It's Charlotte. Oh, yours was the end of May. Oh. There you go, Steve. How about that? All right. And in the amazing vein of also celebrating, we want to recognize our volunteers. Who in this room does any form of volunteering in this ministry? Please raise your hand. Come on, Elaine. That's you. You do that. Come on now. I would like to have a round of applause for these people. There are things that get done in this ministry that you never, ever see. You know that little article that goes in the newspaper? Marcia and Alice manage that. You know that newsletter that comes out every other week? Thank you, Marcia, my able assistant on that. More than able. There are things that you just never see. I saw somebody pushing a dust mop around here this morning, Dave. Right? So we are blessed. And always looking to give you the opportunity to express your volunteer abilities. So we have lots of those over there on the information. What do we call it? Counter. The information counter. That's what we're calling it. So thank you again. Round of applause for our volunteers. Thank you. We would also like to celebrate today our sponsor for this month, the Unity calendar, and that is Trina Getz. Thank you, Trina. She's not with us today, which is very rare. And when she is here, she's usually doing 2 or 3 things. So, round of applause for Trina Getz. If you're interested in that calendar, you can see Sue mine or myself about that. You didn't know I was going to say that, did you, Sue? And today, we want to invite you for fun, food, and frolic. Lots of frolic, right? Because we are celebrating. This is Celebration Sunday, as is every day, if we choose to see it that way in our lives. And we've got food. And I want to point out for our volunteers, see this? We do not know how we would do it without you. So we've got donuts over there too today. So please partake in that because they're not going home with me. All right. And today we're going to have lunch after service, and that is going to happen right before we leave for the movie. There are 10 slots. I think we've got them all filled. Thank you to Gary Robbins Family Law for those 10 free tickets to see the movie this afternoon, Top Gun. And Tom Cruise, right? Yeah. Of course I knew that. I'm just acting like I don't know that part. And so, if you will please, to the tune of, we need to turn me down a little, Sam, to the tune of Happy Birthday, because we're getting ready to sing and it could get scary in here. We're going to sing Happy Everything to everybody. Here we go. Happy everything to everybody. Sing it like you mean it. Happy everything to everybody. Happy everything to everybody. Happy everything to you. Thank you for that. And now we will invite Miss Marcia Wiesner to the front. She is going to do our opening prayer. Marcia is part of our prayer team, which we are grateful for that. And that prayer team is ever expanding. So thank you, Marcia. Thank you.
Thank you, Penny. I invite you to settle into your seats in any way that's comfortable. You can close your eyes if you want to, or you can have an unfocused gaze on the floor. And let's take a couple of breaths together. Breathe in. Breathe out. We may find as we peruse the only human news that we are perhaps feeling despair, anger, maybe even hatred for those who disagree with us. So let's take that into prayer. In prayer, we find ourselves comforted in our divine nature. We say, I am divine love. And not only that, everyone else, including those people we disagree with, are divine. Our divine love. I am divine love. Feel that. Believe it. You are divine love. Believe that. I am divine courage. You are divine courage. I am divine wisdom. You are divine wisdom. So that's the other news. With our knowledge of this, we can see the truth in everyone. And so it is.
And I now introduce to you once again Sue Mine, who's also our platform assistant today. Don't forget, there are volunteer opportunities over there on the information counter. Thank you, Sue. It's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sue just recently, as you know, became the president of the board. So we're, yes.
So I need you all.
Oh, you're taking her.
I don't really. Okay, so it's good to see you all. I'm glad to be here with you. And this morning, we want you to share what's happening with you. In this sharing, we see the value of collectively affirming with you and those you pray for that the presence of good is in all things. And it is the one power. We also support each other in knowing that God, the universe, spirit, whatever you want to call it, knows the details. So, with that said, does anyone have a prayer request or a gratitude that you'd like to share? Oh, I thought Dave was going to share.
Well, I would love to support all the volunteers as one who's been volunteering for about 2. By the way, I didn't mention earlier, June is actually my 3rd official anniversary in Flagstaff area. So,
Yay!
so anyway, and folks out there, if you have any gratitudes or prayers, please chat with them to Sam. Okay, thanks.
Laura, thanks.
Mine is, I want prayers. I heard when I was leaving the house this morning that my brother-in-law passed away.
Oh.
And so I know we're all getting older and everything, but still you think we're going to live forever. And it's sad no matter what. Thank you.
So we are affirming peace around that for you and the family, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
Yes.
So sorry.
Thank you.
Well, I would like to, I don't think it's coming through. Maybe it's the mask. To express gratitude that our church member and friend Paula Rice is maybe very close to being in remission. So I'd like everybody for leukemia, which is a very serious form of it. And I would like prayers and affirmation that she is in remission
That's
and that she is healthy and whole.
wonderful news. Thank you, Cynthia.
And I would also, we are still in a situation where we need to find an affordable place to live. Within, we have a little bit of leeway, but a number of things have fallen through leads that we had, so that we need the affirmation that the perfect, affordable place to live for us is coming open.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So we
Thanks,
and we
Cynthia.
are affirming with prayers of gratitude for the healing that Paula is experiencing. And we give great thanks for the modeling of what it looks like to be healed and to allow yourself to heal. And we are also affirming with you, Cynthia and Mike, the perfect and right housing comes to you now.
Susie. I would like prayers for my friend Joan. Her ex-husband passed on Thursday, and it's a blessing. He had stage 4 cancer and just was ready to go. But prayers for the family, her children, and prayers for them. It's been very difficult for them. Yeah. Thank you, Susie.
So we send him on his journey at peace and in rest. And we see the same for the family.
And do we have any prayer requests or gratitudes from our Zoom or YouTube people, Sam? No? Okay.
Anyone else?
So we're grateful for all the requests and good news that we've just heard. Again, we affirm that each condition, person, and situation is an expression of the divine. We claim love, wisdom, healing, and wholeness. We remember that no circumstance changes or separates us from our divinity. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
Amen.
As usual, we want to thank the members of the prayer team. If those of you would raise your hands that are here today. So those people are available to join with you after the service if you choose to pray in our Serenity Room. And if you have prayers that you don't quite feel comfortable in putting out there, you can write them on a slip over in our little prayer box and put them in there. The prayer team will pray over them and then send them on to Unity Village for prayer for 30 days. So we thank them all. We're lucky to have such a great prayer team that keeps us vibrant. So let's all share the Unity Principle number 5.
And that's a misprint, Sue. It's number 3. It says 3 on the screen, but I thought I would trick you on your program.
Nice going.
Nice going. I did well, huh?
Thoughts have let's all say it together. Thoughts
have creative power
to
determine
determine
events
events and
and
attract
attract
experiences. And now, Matt is going to do a special song for us.
I asked Matt if he would be willing to do this song, and he said, well, let's see what we find on YouTube. You know, we could play the video. And I didn't find anything that would do it as well as Matt would. So here we are. And this is, we're doing this in place of the inspirational moment today. So I invite you to take this in. And Matt always tells me yes, eventually.
If God had a name, what would it be, and would you call it to his face? If you were faced with him and all his glory, what would you ask if you had just one question? And yeah, God is great, and yeah, God is good, and yeah. What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us. Just a stranger on the bus, trying to make his way home. If God had a face, what would it look like, and would you want to see? If seeing meant that you would have to believe in spirit and truth and all those other things. And yeah, God is great, and yeah, God is good, and yeah. What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us. Just a stranger on the bus, trying to find his way home. Trying to make it all alone. Like up to heaven all alone. Nobody calling on the phone, except the Pope maybe in Rome. What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us. Just a stranger on the bus, trying to find his way home. Trying to find his way home. Like a holy rolling stone. back up to heaven all alone. Nobody calling on the phone, except the Pope may be in Rome.
And now we will prepare for meditation. Matt, you rocked it. No, you're not on. See, I told you he always says yes when I ask him to do something right. Okay, I'll play. So if we can get the lights, please. This is Ryan Biter, as you all know. And we're just going to take this music in, and then we'll prepare for meditation.
Hey everyone, this is a tune of mine called All Is Well. It's a real quiet tune, and I hope you all are doing okay out there. So, here you go. My heart is open and my mouth is closed. Pain and fear, no, I don't need those. Sunset, sunrise, seeing this world with my own two eyes is tough, but it is good. All is well. All is well. All is well with my soul, with my soul, with my soul, with my soul. I'm gonna wake up early, gonna eat good food. I'm gonna spread this love, that's what I'll do for you and for me. I will love my neighbor, I will lend a hand. I will make this earth a sacred land for me and for you. All is well. All is well. All is well with my soul. Better change right now like you know you should. You better change right now. Be some earthly good. Take a chance and fall in love with everyone. All is well. All is well. All is well with my soul, with my soul. All is well. All is well. All is well with my soul.
And we begin to prepare for meditation. We feel the power as we consider ourselves as one with all. We feel the power we allow ourselves to feel grounded in the room, hearing the sounds, feeling the chair beneath us, and all those thoughts running through our minds. And we feel ourselves breathe, drawing in that breath of life and releasing. And we breathe, once again feeling the light from within being breathed more deeply. And we release. And now we expand into that breath, breathing in and expanding outward. We feel our shoulders settle. We feel the expansion of our lungs. And we release. To move once again back to that breath of life. And experiencing the infinite nature of the life within and all around. We allow the sense of that expansion to reach into the infinite. We are safe and we are free here in this ever expanding expression of spirit. And we rest from this place of safety and connection as we move into the silence. And we draw that breath of light and life, and we release. And we feel this connection with the infinite, healing us, embracing us, being as us. And we are grateful. And we send that gratitude forward into the infinite, that it might be received and known by all. For this we give great thanks. And so we let it be.
From a distance, the world looks blue and green, and the snow-capped mountains white. From a distance, the ocean meets the stream, and the eagle takes to fly. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the voice of hope, it's the voice of peace, it's the voice of every man. From a distance, we all have enough, and no one is in need. And there are no guns, no bombs, and no disease, no hungry mouths to feed. From a distance, we are instruments marching in a common band, playing songs of hope, playing songs of peace. They're the songs of every man. God is watching us, God is watching us, God is watching us from the distance. From a distance, you look like my friend, even though we are at war. From a distance, I just cannot comprehend what all this fighting is for. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the hope of hopes, it's the love of loves, it's the heart of everyone. It's the hope of hopes, it's the love of love. This is the song of everyone. And God is watching us, God is watching us, God is watching us from a is watching us from a distance.
Yeah. I guess I'll bring this over with me. Thank you to Wiley for that. As you recognize, that was recorded when we were meeting over at Trans Inn. So take it in. We were renting a dance hall an hour at a time. Take it in, look around. God is watching us from within. God is watching us from within. When I was little, my mother used to say to me, she'd say, "Penny, you're walking around the world with your eyes closed." And I was about 43. And she said that to me again. And I said, "And I love what I see. I love what I see." But today we're talking about from a distance, Penny. So learning to waltz is hard to do. I can't actually say that I ever have. Always feels like a lot like life. 2 steps forward and 1 step back. That's kind of the waltz, isn't it? On October 24th, in 1946, soldiers and scientists at White Sands Missile Range launched a V-2 missile. And it had a motion picture camera on it. That's my kind of missile. The first shots of Earth from space. It was taken 65 miles above. The film survived the crash landing because it was encased in a steel container. Can I have a little PowerPoint, Sam? The first full view of the Earth was on December 7th in 1972, as the Apollo 17 crew left Earth's orbit for the moon. Anybody remember that day? Look at that beautiful planet. If you look at things from a distance, most anything looks beautiful, says Haruki Murakami. I looked it up. That's how they pronounced it. You know, I had a friend who was a woodworker. And he would get all caught up in these minutiae, the details, and he would look at the top of this beautifully finished handmade table about this far from it. Of course, now I couldn't see anything at that distance, right? And he would pick it apart, and he'd run his hands over it, and he had a wise woodworker man say this, and I thought, there's a Sunday message in there when I heard this man say that. He said, "Take the 7-foot look. Step back from whatever you're doing and just take the 7-foot look." Wise words. Would anything in your life look differently if you just step back just a little? Just a little. Kind of take in all the edges, trying to take in all the perspectives that are available. Would anything in your life look different? And would you make decisions, and would you move forward in a different way? The 7-foot look. I also have a dear, dear friend that says to me all the time, if you could see what we see, you would never doubt what you're doing. I need to hear that on a daily basis. If you could see what I see in you, in the people around us, we would never doubt the ability and the power of humankind again. If you could see what I see, if you could see what I see from up here, you would never doubt our ability as humankind to do the next right thing. But we get in it, don't we? Am I the only one in the room? We get in it. And we run our hands over it and we look for every flaw that we can possibly find. We get in it. That's all right. That's us expressing God in that moment. From a distance, as Wiley reminded us, the world looks blue and green, and the snow-capped mountains white. From a distance, the ocean meets the stream, and the eagle takes to flight. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It is the voice of hope. It is the voice of peace. It is the voice of everyone. And we get that when we step back and allow ourselves to expand into the infinite, amazing, unlimited beings that we are. And while we stay in the minutia of what happens on the planet, and things are happening on the planet just like they did 3 million years ago, and they're going to continue to happen 3 million plus years from now. Things are happening on the planet. Don't tell me, Penny, you're walking around the world with your eyes closed. Don't you know what's happening on this planet? Do you see the suffering that's happening? Are you walking around in the world with your eyes closed? And I say, yes, I am. Because it is there that I will find the guidance and the light. And I can't see it if I'm too close to it. I need to get back. I need to step back and take all of it in, rather than focusing on that, just that. And I'm not saying there aren't appropriate times to do just that. But if we stay just there, that's all we will see. We'll just see that. Get back. Step back. Expand into the amazing beings that you are. Just like the astronauts. They interviewed them when they came back after seeing the planet like that. That looking at it. And they have what is called this experience. It's called the overview effect. And they've actually studied it because there were such significant changes in the lives of those astronauts. They wanted to see what happened up there. It didn't happen up there. It happened in here. And they got there by looking at the big picture and seeing the infinite nature of the universe. And they saw a teeny tiny little piece of it. Many astronauts, after experiencing this overview effect, began to engage in global works after their return to Earth. Astronaut Ron Garan said this. He said, as he was feeling this overview effect, what came to him was this group that he ended up starting actually when he got back to the planet called Fragile Oasis. And it's not just about recycling. It's about taking in what we are a part of and how infinite it is. When you study images of Earth Joanna Macy, a philosopher and ecologist, says, "You're struck with such a gladness at that beauty and the opportunity in it that you don't have time to think about how it's going to turn out. All you know is that you are part of it and you want to serve it." Now, obviously, no one in it, well, maybe I'm wrong. Has anyone in the room been to the moon? I should ask that question, I guess, now, right? Not yet, right? Obviously, no one in this room has had that experience. But have you ever had that experience in a situation where you could feel yourself rising above it, stepping out of it, and allowing the Spirit within you to do the work? And have you ever noticed how amazing you are in those moments? Consider the power in stepping back, because it gives us the opportunity to actually see the connection we have to things. When we're in it, we can't see that connection necessarily. So this is what I'm thinking. What stepping back and from a distance actually means for me, metaphysically, and see if this fits. It's about lifting my consciousness. Isn't that the work we're doing? Is to get to that next level of consciousness, that understanding, that place that starts to serve us in ways and makes our life look so much easier. Isn't that what we mean by from a distance? Is to lift our consciousness up and keep lifting it up so that we can see all of the beauty and the possibilities. I think that's the work. And I know that's the work. I mean, I've been teaching this for 30 years, but I mean, like that really dropped in for me that, oh, that's what we're doing. We're lifting our consciousness so we can get a better view. So that from a distance, we can see possibly even what the divine intent was. If I can get far enough away from the situation, I make more room to see that infinite nature of God. That's what we do when we lift our consciousness. That's what we're doing when we're doing this, right? I thought that was really kind of cool. You guys act like you all knew that. But I knew that. I knew it, but I got to tell you, this whole thing looking at because I watched a lot of videos, with the video from the spaceships and toward the earth and toward the moon, and you start to realize how amazingly infinite we are and how infinite the world that we live in is, and how when we get down in it too much and stay down there too long, we can't even process it because there's not room to move. There's not room to move around in there and get a new little perspective on it. And I'm not just talking about those belief systems that when we're all sitting at tables, we're all agreeing with each other. I'm talking about getting some distance, not because you don't want to be with someone, but because you're taking a bigger look. You're stepping back, and you're not just taking in those that agree with you. You are inviting in so that you can expand and learn, and I didn't say ever have to agree with, but to expand and to learn from that experience with those individuals. We sit in our familiar circles and we spin our belief systems. And somebody said something to me this week, and they said, we are also polarized in those moments. Expand, step back, allow the expression of God to move through. Charles Fillmore said this: humankind is the power of God in action. To humankind is given the highest power in the universe, the conscious power of thought. I I say step back from those thoughts that you're having. I say step back from the things that are limiting you from getting that God's eye view. And the way that we get that God's eye view is we continue to lift our consciousness. Look beyond the problems, says Robert Longley in this poem. Look beyond the pain, welcome every challenge, imbued with soft refrain, embracing every moment, a gift of time and space, feelings set in motion, not tied to past or place. It's here that you will find freedom with all that is at your back. Adventure waits for you. No passion do you lack. Center in your spirit, focus on the truth, and feel the inspiration you'll share with the world and its youth. Florence Scovel Shinn said, so when somebody asked her this question, how long must one remain in the dark? And she said, until one can see in the dark. And as you step away from the darkness and you allow the light to start to dilute that darkness that you're standing in by going to a place from a distance, you will start to see in the dark. You'll start to know that this is yours to do or it's not. And Byron Katie says this, when you're wondering, when will I stop getting in it? She says this, you'll do that until you don't. Nothing is ever as bad as we remember, and nothing really is ever as good as we recall. It is about stepping back from it and seeing the whole picture. That's where the power is at. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. And I'm not saying that being introspective isn't good, because we talk a lot about going inside. But what I'm saying is as you go inside, consider the same depth at which you are willing to take in these teachings are available to you as you step back from them and expand into them and into that expression. I invite you into that this week, my friends. Namaste.
Almost had you trip there, Steve.
Nope.
This is called Inside Out.
Well, every now and then this world can swallow you alive, break you down a little at a time. But together we can make it right. Follow our hearts deep into the night. Maybe help someone else along the way. And we light this world from the inside out. We'll leave the fear and darkness behind. And it's just a shallow glow that burrows one soul at a time. For keep the faith, we light this world from the inside out. If we keep the faith, we'll light this world from the inside out. We have felt the chill of an ill will blowing in. The puppet master, he spins his empty lies. And if we were merely sheep, we would be theirs to keep. But hand in hand, we will make a stand. And we'll light this world from the inside out. We'll leave the fear and darkness behind. And it's just a subtle glow that grows one soul at a time. For keep the faith, we'll light this world from the inside out. If we keep the faith, we'll light this world from the inside out. And a book by its cover, the gender of your lover, and the color of our skin is not a sin. So put the hate away, we don't need it here today. And we can't go through all of this again. And we'll light this world from the inside out. And we'll leave the fear and darkness behind. And it's just a subtle glow that grows one soul at a time. For keep the faith, we'll light this world from the inside out. And we'll light this world from the inside out. We'll leave the fear and darkness behind. And it's just a subtle glow that grows one soul at a time. For keep the faith, we'll light this world from the inside out. If we keep the faith, we'll light this world from the inside out.
Forgot about the microphone. I just love that song. Matt.
Yay!
It is
another original.
Yeah, I think it has to get recorded. It's just so wonderful. I
Another
wake up
original.
in the morning hearing myself singing.
That's awesome.
So we will have our time of abundance sharing in a moment. And while you're preparing for your gifts, I'd like to remind you that you have everything you need to know about what is happening here on the wall in the back, the events board, on PowerPoint slides, of course, in the newsletter, and there's a printed version in the back that you can put on your refrigerator of things that are coming up. And of course, there is,
www.unityofflagstaff.org. Woohoo!
So a couple of reminders. We have lunch today.
Ta-da!
This is not a regular thing, but it's special because Gary, back in the back, Gary Robbins Family Law is honoring us with 10 seats at the theater today. And so we're providing lunch so that you can do that and get off to the movies. So thank you, Gary.
Yay!
Yay, Gary.
And I think all 10 slots are filled, so thank you for participating. We get to sit in the fancy theater.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So while we're having lunch today, we'll have some music provided by our drum circle.
Yay! Drum circle!
We will have on June 25th, Pet Adoption Day here. So you can sign up to be a volunteer, as some of you already have. Dave's going to be in charge of that. And we're going to have puppies.
Puppies!
Dangerous. So dangerous to have
Puppies for
puppies.
adoption. We're going to support the Coconino County, Humane Society. Just come and see the puppies. Come on.
Yes. The same day we're going to
As
have...
of right now, no kitties, just puppies.
Yeah. The same day we'll have journaling in the morning at 10 to 11:30. If you have any questions about that, get in touch with me. I guess that's it.
And then I wanted to point out that at this table back here, we have a nice big red jar, and there are blank pieces of paper, and we're inviting you into suggesting your favorite nonprofit, other than Unity of Flagstaff, of course, suggesting your favorite nonprofit that we can direct our Helping Hands tithe to each quarter. So we'd like to have that organization's name, and if you have a contact person there, that would be great, and then those will be considered by the board for that. So please, drop your suggestions in there. I appreciate it. And we are having food today, and that is new. We haven't done that in a while. And I'm just taking a little straw poll. How many people are comfortable at this point in time with having food in a public setting like this? All right. That helps me. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. So would our greeters please come up front? It's time for our abundance sharing.
Abundant sharing. Come on down. All right, I'm going to stay back here. You guys stay up there. Okay, so this is what we're doing. You ready?
Oh, there we go. So let's say together, I am attracting abundance to me constantly.
Come on, one more time. I am attracting abundance to me constantly. Love it.
Thank you.
All right. And go forward, my friends. And as you are doing our tithe, once you get comfortable and you're willing to stand up, the words to this song are on your chairs. So join us when you're ready. Oh, I claim a blessing.
In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. This is how I start the day.
So, little PowerPoint, Sam. And we are giving thanks. We are grateful for these gifts. We see them transform, that they might do the work that we are called into as a community and as individuals. So we say thank you for that. And together we affirm we are one with Source. We are abundant and generous. We open to our good thank you spirit. And together we affirm the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us wherever we are. God is, and all is well. Create a great week, my friends. Thank you for being here. You're welcome.
From a distance, the world looks blue and green, and the snow-capped mountains white. From a distance, the ocean meets the stream, and the eagle takes to flight. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the voice of hope. It's the voice of peace. It's the voice